Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Very
Good, I'm good. Did you have a nice
beautiful.
Mother's Day?
Yes.
Good, good.
Did you spoil your mom?
Of course. No, I did. I ended up finding an old cross-stitching thing she did when she was 12 years old. She had away in a tote for, well, the last 60 something years. So I ended up buying a frame and putting it on. So yeah.
That's awesome.
That's what I told her. No, just kidding.
How are you, Janet?
Not bad, you?
Very good. You got
Good.
time to sneak on?
Oh yeah, I got Sydney too.
I was
Hi.
gonna ask if she's there. Hey, Sid, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Everybody gets to see my beautiful office today, I was thinking.
It's very nice.
It's very pink.
Yeah, I like it.
Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask. I know there's a few more people who are still going to come in, but we're around 7. So, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
I missed the first session you had. I don't need to know anything from that
No.
For this one, right? Okay. Yep.
No, it was all on the dating tips. So no, you don't need to. It has nothing to do with budgeting.
Okay, good, good.
They were budget friendly date tips, but nothing to do with and COVID friendly, but nothing to do with this. No, I try to make all this like I have a few sessions lined up and I have them all so that they're all independent, so that if you miss 1 or 2, then it doesn't make a big difference. Like you're not going to miss anything other than, you know, some jokes or something, but that's it. Nobody with video today so far. Everybody's got their videos off. Hey, Samantha.
Hey, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good, Rissa.
Good. How's the household?
Hunkered down still.
Yeah. Did you have a good day yesterday?
Yeah,
Sure,
sure.
Did you spoil her?
not my job.
No, my son took care of
She's
it.
not my mom.
I
He
knew
took
that was
care of
going to be
his
the
mom.
reaction.
Yeah, he took care of his mom, and my son took care of me, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Good.
You did good.
Very good. How's Travis handling no hockey?
Not good.
Not good, especially with the impending draft coming, which apparently they're moving forward with the draft of no year. So
Wow.
Mhm.
Really?
They're doing all three, well, technically 2 drafts, but then, but yeah, so they're going to do the early entry and the U18 draft, even though there's been no hockey.
That's crazy.
Yep. Oh, it's crazy.
Everything's crazy, right? Like it doesn't matter what it is or what sport or what it's just crazy.
Mhm.
When can I buy my boat?
When
Yeah,
can you buy your
well,
boat? I guess we should do a review, shouldn't we?
that's-
Get that boat budgeted in.
Mm.
All
Yep.
the money you might buy from all the tips I have today will get you a payment on your boat anyway.
Mm, that
Nice.
sounds good. You guys are doing okay though?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
as good as you can be too, right? Like, wondering if lacrosse is going to start, wondering if, when
Mhm.
we'll have to do hockey, when, right?
mm-hmm.
So, and there's rumors of this lockdown extending again, so we'll see.
Yeah, somebody decided to throw in the fourth wave word in there, and I'm like, shame on you. Shame.
Yeah. Yeah, they say it's pretty scary though, right? Like it's hard when you don't see it, you don't see how scary it is. And then when you're in it dealing with it, you see how scary it is and you try and tell people how scary it is. And then you've got the, the two sides per se, but I haven't seen any of it or been affected by any of it. But I have a lot of nurse clients and they see it a
Mhm.
lot. So that I get the other side of it. But either
Yeah.
way, it sucks being locked up. It sucks with the kids not being able to do anything and this online schooling and
But yeah, they're not going back this year.
no.
Not at
Oh
least
gosh, no.
September, and unless they mandate COVID shots, then good luck.
Yeah, I think that, and I think that with May 2-4 coming up, that I don't think that they're gonna open before it.
Oh no, they're not opening anything for this school year. Mm-mm.
No. Okay, 7:01. I know there's a few people still coming. Does anybody have any objection if we wait a couple more minutes?
Nope.
Okay, good. We will wait a few more minutes and let them in. Maybe give them 5 minutes. I told a whole bunch of people it was 6:30 and not 7, so I had to be on here very early to tell everybody when they logged in that they were very early. So I know they're coming back. Jeannie, did you get any response from work? There's Kim.
Sorry, did I get any response? No, I just put that on the info mail and no one reached out to me, but
Okay, cool.
no.
It was worth a try.
Yeah. No, that's usually if it's just notices and stuff people put or boot camps or people selling stuff or stuff like this. So I just figured I'd put it there since it's free advertising and I don't know,
I totally agree. So I appreciate it very much.
no problem. Anything for you, Rissa.
Aw, thank you. Couple more minutes. Don't worry, Kim, I'll get you out the door on time.
It's okay. No hurry. It's not about me.
It'll keep me on track, that's all.
Oh, okay.
I think we'll wait for one more and then start, and then the rest can join after if they decide to. It's funny, we had so many people RSVP and like a quarter of them are here. I guess that's the way it always is, though, right? I should have had music or something.
Start singing.
No, well, we're good. We're good. You don't. I need you guys to be able to hear when I do my presentation.
Well, you're loud and clear on this end.
Hey, you're here. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very good. Is Tony there too?
Yep, he's just dialing in or whatever.
Oh, is he coming in separate? Cool.
We're both in.
Oh, you're both there? How are you?
I'm good.
Very good. You feeling better?
Yes, every day.
Very good. That's what I like to hear. All right, 2 more minutes and we will get started. And get everybody to save hundreds of dollars this month.
Yay.
That's the goal. Oh, and Jessica, you're here too. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Long time no talk.
Yeah, really.
Is Justin there too?
He is in the kitchen making dinner.
Okay, well, tell him I said hello again.
I will.
I go to a lot of webinars and on Zoom with all this COVID stuff to keep up my education hours and all of that. But I find that from the time it starts to 10 minutes in, that's when everybody comes.
Yeah.
I'm always there like 10 to 15 minutes early, and I'm usually waiting for the host to open because I'm like, I'm going to be on time. I'm going to be early, like just like a normal meeting, right? No,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
everybody thinks that way. But you know what? When you think about it, that's what they do in live meetings too, right? You always have those straggling in after it starts. So
Yeah, that is true.
I guess that's the way it goes. All right, it's 5 after. Everybody good if we start?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Risa,
Okay. Yes. Hey, how are you?
hey, good. It's
Good.
because the commute is so awful right now. That's why people are late, right?
You're exactly right. That's right. That darn commute. Mine is about 2 flights of stairs, so I guess I can't complain too much. All right. So if we can all keep our mics muted, but please feel free to ask me questions at any time. I don't know if you want to raise your hand, if you want to put something in the chat, whatever you want to do, just let me know that you want to say something or ask something. I will stop periodically and ask stuff as well. Okay.
So for those of us that are not so experienced with Zoom, if we want to raise our hand, how do we do that?
Down in the bottom, it's okay. If you hover over the bottom of your screen, it's going to come up and say reactions. And when you click on reactions, there's a raise hand button.
Okay, got it. I see it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for saying that, because I totally would. I just do this every day. All right, are you going down? And my little baby came with me today, but apparently she wants off my lap, but I want everybody to say hi. Say hi, Har. She says, what are you doing to me, Mom? Okay, there you go, Har. Down you go. All right, that's one of my babies. Okay, so budgeting during COVID. Everybody can see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so we'll do this old-fashioned way. I don't have the clicker button to switch screens. So I see everybody on the call today, and I think everybody knows who I am and knows a little bit about me. But I have a great love for death-defying stunts. Seems to be my recent thing. My skydiving, and now taking up kayaking with my son, and my little puppies as well. 3 kids. My twins are 19 and my son is 13. And you know, when COVID's not on, my son enjoys hockey and lacrosse and baseball, so I enjoy watching him play those sports. And my girls are older and kind of on their own now, so I've given up their love of horses, but hopefully someday we can get back into that. So we're going to do 12 tips for saving during COVID, or budgeting during COVID. So this is going to be how you can save some money during this wonderful pandemic that we're all so fond of and love so very much. The first one is to breathe, one which I should do right now because I'm talking too fast, but breathe. So the most important thing we need to remember when we're talking about budgeting and budgeting during COVID is that we're all going through this. All of us are doing this. We're all having the same issues. Some it's really easy to budget during COVID. Some of us it's really hard to budget during COVID, but that's the same as it was before COVID, right? Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. But the biggest thing we need to remember is we're all in the same boat. It's not easy. And we just need to go over our priorities and make sure that we're thinking everything through as we're doing it and while we're doing it, so that we can make sure that we're budgeting the right way. So my first tip for you is breathe. Second tip is cord cutting. So cable, satellite, anything like that that you're paying way too much for, you can do one of 2 things. You can reduce it and stream more often, or you can take over just completely streaming and then just completely cut the cable or satellite bill. So the average cable or satellite bill is $52. Not sure where those stats came from because I know mine was a whole lot higher, but if our average cost savings to cut in cable or satellite would be $50 a month. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go through all these tips and actually tell you how much you can save so that we can see a real light of it. And then we can at the end see how much you can really save over a month, because each one might be a little bit, but it adds up so that at the end, there's quite a drastic savings or huge savings. Okay, so cord cutting. Couponing. So I'm not a huge fan of couponing. My sister is a huge couponer. I'm pretty sure she has like a club and a group and all this stuff for it. I'm not suggesting in any way, shape, or form that any of us become extreme couponers and we try to get money back when we buy our groceries. I think that the biggest thing is just use coupons that are easily accessible, quick to use, and easy to find. So get an app or maybe two, but not too many, right? But get a couple apps that are coupons, have lots of coupons on them. And then, so I'm told Flip is a big one. Samantha says Flip. I have heard of that. Anything that price matches. I know Walmart, if I'm not mistaken, is no longer price matching, but there's a lot of places that still do. And so price matching and Flip is a really good one for you to use. But the biggest thing with it is you want it to be easy and you want it to be quick, right? Because you don't want it to be, I'm just making sure I didn't write anything else. Fast, quick, and easy. Those are what I want it to be, right? So, and some of the companies or stores, sorry, have those big coupon boards at the front of the store when you walk in. It doesn't take long to stop there, see if there's anything that you use on a regular basis, grab a coupon or two, and then go shopping. Right, so that's another one if you don't have the app. Groupon, that's another one. That's right. You can save a lot of money on Groupon. The biggest thing with coupons and stuff like that is don't be buying things you wouldn't be already buying. There you go. So Manuela, you just said exactly as I said. So only do the, you guys are all going to take all the words out of my mouth. But yes, you only do it for the things you're going to buy already, or else it becomes an added expense and not a savings. So the average savings we have for coupons, I didn't want to be too extreme on coupons, so I said $20 a month. So that breaks it down into $5 a week. It doesn't take much to save $5 a week by couponing, especially if you're using the app Flip or something like that. Okay, so there we go, coupons. Lowering your cell phone bill. So I tell everybody to lower their cell phone bill. That's whether it's COVID or not, you want to try to reduce your cell phone bill. But the biggest thing that a lot of people say to me is, it's already as low as it can go. That's fine for what data and usage you have on your account it is. But how many of us are housebound right now and not going anywhere? We're not using any data. So if you have 10 or even 20 gigabytes of data, drop that down to 1 or 2. You're going to save a ton on your cell phone bill at the same time as not go over your usage because you're not using that much anymore. Let me see if I did anything else. That's the biggest one for me is your less usage. So cut your data and that will cut your overall cost. One thing you can do too with your cell phone is do some research. So research what other companies are offering for similar plans or lower plans. And go to your provider with that amount and they'll usually reduce it or match it. And if you don't, so wonderfully tell them that you're going to cancel, whether you are or not. And they will then send you to another department who has more discounts than the first department does. So every cell phone company has a customer relations or loyalty or whatever they want to call that special department, but they have lower prices than the other department you just talked to. So they'll be able to get your bill down even lower. Okay, so let's say $20 off our cell phone. So we're now at $90 that we saved in 1 month, and we're on tip number 4. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Nobody? Everybody's good? Okay. Update your insurance. Did anybody here call their insurance company and tell them that they're no longer driving to work, or that they're driving less often to work, or that they've changed their driving due to COVID?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
I
did.
did.
Oh, good. I'm seeing lots of yeses. I love this.
Yep.
Rissa,
Good. Yes.
actually, our insurance company called us to say that we were going to get a check back for like $205 due to this COVID not driving sort of thing.
Yep. Awesome. Perfect. So yes, I see Samantha got a rebate, and everybody, Jeannie, you've called in as well. So that's awesome. So I put on there a savings of $20 a month. Oh, good. Marianne, you did too. Is Keith there with you, Marianne?
Well, in and out, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, tell him I said hello. Okay. And so there's another $20 for a month for reducing your usage. And some are seeing more than that and some are seeing less, but this is an average, right? I love you, Kim. All right. Next, not using your subscriptions, why not cancel them? So, and this doesn't just relate to subscriptions, this is going to be memberships as well. So what about your gym membership? I'm pretty sure we're not going to the gym. And I've had a lot of response of, well, I have a really great deal on my gym membership. You know what? When this opens back up, there's going to be a lot of people going to the gym, but B, there's also going to be a lot of discounts and savings at the gym because they want you to come back. Right? So yes, frozen, that's a good way to put it too. Yes, some of the gyms are freezing the subscriptions, putting it on hold, absolutely. So some people are still getting a lot of magazine subscriptions, right? You can read them all online and it's a lot cheaper. So get rid of them. Some people have 2 or 3 even music subscriptions. So there's YouTube, there's Spotify, there's Amazon Music, there's Apple Music. There's so many different music things. You subscribe to a few of them and you're only listening to one primarily. So get rid of the rest. There's no need to have the rest. If you add that up, if you're saving you $10, $15, $20 per subscription per month, that adds up to quite a bit over the whole year, right? You're talking a couple $100 every year for each one. Let's see, for subscriptions, yeah, gym, magazines, Spotify, music memberships. Trying to think of some other examples that clients have given me lately that's just stuff that you're paying for and you're not using. So any
Rissa?
memberships, yes.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, since I love our Chatham Kent Library, and they have a couple of apps, Libby and Hoopla, and you can get, as long as you have a Chatham Kent Library card, you can get free movies, music, books, like audio books, ebooks. You can get magazines, all of that for free. And the 2 apps are Libby and Hoopla. And if you go on their Chatham Kent Municipal website, they have a whole list of a bunch of other things, but I canceled my Spotify and iTunes, and now I get free music and books and stuff. So that's just something to check out as well.
That's awesome. I'm going to check some other libraries in the different areas where clients are and see if they do that, because that's a great idea. I never even thought of that. So now we don't even just have to reduce our apps and subscriptions. We can completely cancel all of them in that case. So I put $20 savings on that per month. So that would be 1 subscription per household, possibly 2 that you would save. Yes, negotiating before finalizing the subscriptions, that's a great idea, because just similar to your cell phone, you can reduce the cost of it before getting rid of it, or getting a few months free, or getting, different things like that you can get before getting rid of it. So that would be like putting it on hold and different stuff like that. And actually that's a great thing, because I just went to cancel my subscription for something and they offered me 2 months at 40% off, and I'm just going to cancel after the 2 month anyway. So that's perfect. Rob say big on his car for Sirius. Sirius is a huge one. I used to put a reminder in my phone for a month before my subscription cancellation, or a week or something like that, and call them right away and tell them I'm canceling, because yes, they have big savings on that. That's a very good one. And that's another one for just period. If you're not using your Sirius on your car, make sure you get rid of it. Less takeout and delivery. This is a huge one right now, because we're all cooped up in the house. We're here all the time. We don't want to go anywhere. We don't want to do anything, but we want to eat still, right? Or at my house, it's the teenagers. I'm hungry, I'm bored, I'm hungry, I'm bored. Those are pretty much the only 2 sentences that he remembers right now. So you'd think being in school, it would help, but it's not. So less takeout and delivery. So the average family spends $15 or just over $15 per meal per person. And the average household has 3 people. So you're looking at easily $45 plus tip per meal. And the average family is eating out twice per week. So that's $90 to $100 per week. So if you followed all of that math, we're looking at $400 a month in takeout.
Mhm.
That's 2 people worth of eating per month at the grocery store. So a lot of people say, well, I've got to buy the food anyway. Correct. However, just limit it, right? So just limit how much. I'm not at all saying don't do it, because trust me, eating out and dining out is in my budget as well. However, limit how much. And that will help you save. So specials and coupons, yes, absolutely. You can get coupons. If you download the different apps, you can get coupons notified to you of different specials that are happening and different things for all the places that you're eating out. And just be very mindful of what you're getting, right? Don't get extra. If there's pop in the house, then don't get a drink. You know, if there's milk and everything else in the house to drink, don't be getting a drink from the takeout, right? Like, so you can save from the takeout as well. That might be true, Kim. So you just have to make him cook more often. Poor Jeff. All right. And so let's say that we're going to save $200 per month in takeout on average. So that's saying you're still going to eat out once per week per person. So I think once a week is plenty for dining out. Somebody might want to argue with me on that one. Kim, I don't know how many times you have to cook a week, but once per week now it's your time to cook and you can do your takeout. So that's going to save us $200 a month. And remember, like I said, the biggest thing with this one is just set a limit, right? How much are we going to eat out per month? And then or how often, and budget that out and put that in your budget to make sure that it fits. Use a shopping list. So this is an interesting one. I have a lot of opinions on this one. It's not my favorite thing. I will be honest. It's not my favorite thing at all. However, it's so helpful. When I have a list and I follow the list, I spend so much less. So the 2 biggest things with the list are actually having one and making sure you follow it. So I stick our list on our fridge, and whenever I run out of something, I put it on the fridge and keep up with it that way, and then just rip it off and go to the grocery store, right? So you know your usual things you have to buy, your milk and your bread, but then your stuff you're out of, So 1, you're not going to forget anything. And 2, you're not going to get more than you need just because you're not sure of what you're out of, because you've got that list. And even more important than that when you're going to the grocery store is make sure you eat before you go. I'm sure we've all gone shopping hungry. I do it, I think, every time. It's like the worst thing. And that is a huge thing as well. And Jessica, you're absolutely right. Where you do your shopping makes a huge difference. I think I was shopping at Metro and thinking that, it has a better selection. It's much better. So it's, down from Loblaws, but up from No Frills kind of type of thing. And then one day I looked at the price of, I think, milk or margarine or something like that. And it was like twice the amount for something that was simple to get. And once I actually started looking at my bill, I realized how much more I was spending just by going to that store. So that's made a huge difference. One thing that some people have access to and might be helpful is Instacart. Instacart might charge you $3 or $4 to bring your food to your door, but it saves you time, and your time is worth money. And the other thing it does is it makes you not go shopping hungry, and it makes you use your list. So you're not in the store buying things because you don't even see them, right? Come here. But that's another really big thing is Instacart. But again, if you get carried away on Instacart, it can get away from you. So you have everything you have to do in moderation and be very careful of. But if you have your list on Instacart, what I do is as soon as I'm out of something, I just add it into my cart right away. And then it's already in my shopping cart. So if I'm using Instacart, I do it that way so that I have everything ready to go and I just have to check out, or putting it up on the fridge and just ripping it off and taking it with me. But you have to remember too, your time is worth money. So if it's not a huge difference, then I would do that. Huge difference, but the quality and selection may be overall different. Yes. So we have to have an even balance over quality versus savings. But depending on what the items are, you can also do certain types of shop. Like if you do 2 stores, I'm a supporter of doing 2 grocery stores. If you have your meats and vegetables are better at one store and your canned goods and your dry items are better at a different store or cheaper. However, when we get into doing 4 and 5 and 6 stores, it gets to be too much. Like I said, your time is worth money. So you want to make sure that you're spending your time wisely as well. So the location, the list, and not going in hungry. Any questions so far?
Nope.
We're good. Reviewing your current budget. So this is a big one. You want to get up to date with your numbers. So you want to look at your current budget and see where you're at and just see how you stand with your numbers at the bottom line, so that when you're doing your budget and when you're talking about all the other items, you know how much you need to save or how much you need to change your budget by. So maybe you need to dine out even less than once a week because your current budget isn't balancing with the new changes because of COVID. But the biggest thing, kind of like the breathe, just be aware, right? So go back to your budget, add a new column called COVID budget, and redo your numbers, right? Where's your gas budget at? Are we not driving to work anymore? Let's update that. We're not using the TTC or LTC or CTC or whatever our community's transportation is, then we have that as well, right? So there's different things that we're spending that we might not be spending on and we're not realizing it because we haven't just sat down and became aware of the numbers, mostly because we're too scared, right? Sometimes it's just a fear thing of looking at the numbers and being afraid that we're doing worse. I had a couple sit with me the other day and work on their budget, obviously virtually, but we sat and did the budget and they said they've never talked about their numbers. And the first time they talked about their numbers, they were surprised how much money they had because they were just so afraid to look at the numbers. They didn't even realize how much money they had. So it's a big thing just to be aware of your numbers. Who's ever heard of Shelftember?
Nope.
Nobody?
It is.
Nope.
No one? Maybe not everybody. Jeannie, there we go. All right, I was going to say at least I've talked to at least a few of you. So Shelftember, this is going to be our biggest savings. So we talked about how much. So I said using a list would save us $50. Reviewing our current budget and being more aware would save us another $50. This is going to be the really big one. So Shelftember is my favorite thing. And what you do with Shelftember is you buy your fresh items. So your bread, unless you have some in the freezer, but your vegetables, your fresh vegetables, but you do not buy any meats or anything like that because you use what's in your shelves, right? Or on your shelves and in your freezer. So all of us, I can't say anybody who's ever told me otherwise, but all of us have food in our freezers and on our shelves that we've bought and intended to use and want to use and looks delicious, but we just keep buying other stuff and use it instead. So you use what's on your shelves and in your freezer and in your fridge and you use it up. So it frees up your shelves because we all have cluttery shelves and pantries and different things like that. So this will use that all up so that the only thing you're buying is your fresh items, your milk and your vegetables and that type of thing. So this can save you $400 to $500 a month if you do this for 1 month. Because the average household, again, has 3 people, 2.9, and the average grocery bill is $215 per person per month. So if we're still, so if we have an average household of 3, let's say we'll save $430. So we're still going to spend $215 on milk and cheese and vegetables, but our meat and other items we get out of the cupboards, you can save $430 in 1 month, which is a
Then-
crazy
But then
saving.
don't you just spend it again the next month when you have to restock on meat?
No, because you're using up the items that have been sitting in there and aren't using it. So I hear that all the time, right? That's what a lot of people say. Well, I'll just be restocking them. Well, you don't want to stock the fridge, right? What you want in your fridge is enough food for you for that week or that 2-week period until you go back to the grocery store. So if you shop for 1 week, you don't want to buy 2 weeks worth of meat. You just want to buy exactly what you're going to eat for that week. So it helps teach us to use that list for shopping so that we're only putting on our list what we're going to eat that week, instead of stockpiling, right? So when something's on sale, we buy 2 and 3, but only eat 1 that week. We've still got 2 left in the freezer for September. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
You're not going to stock up, right? Because remember, the things that are in your cupboards have been growing dust and sitting there unless you use them every single week and only buy what you need for that week,
I see.
right? Samantha, you guys do September? Do you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about how it works for you guys?
Well, I didn't realize it was defined as shelf timber, but we do it where, because we're looking at all the specials in the flip, that under certain circumstances, especially when things can be frozen, where there's things that are under a really good deal. So I've got probably like 5, 6 different things of ground beef right now because it happened to be on special, versus other things that are not on special and we just, might want to change or do something different. But for the most part, we just eat what we have. And the only time we really stock up is on something that might be on special and have a longer shelf life. So like when cans of soup are 50 cents, we stock up pretty big on that. And then we know that it has a good 1 to 2 year shelf life anyway. So we just really rotate the stuff that we have based on the cheapest way to do it. And it works well for
Perfect.
us all the time.
So you do like a partial September all the time.
All the time.
Awesome. Perfect. I heard Jeannie, you said you're currently doing this, Jeannie?
Because the world scares me right now, and it's only 2 people in my house. I only go grocery shopping once a month, but like I can't remember if it was Kim that was talking just now, but yeah, when there's specials, and even not just for food, but like laundry detergent, right, or dish detergent, something like that, we would stock up with when it's on sale, as well as using my coupons and a price match. But yeah, so that when we go out once a month, it might be just to stock up on, like you said, on the meat and the chicken. But again, if those things are on special or whatnot. But yeah, we're currently doing that because we didn't notice, just for some reason our freezer is super full this month. So yeah, I think I went out and I only had to go get some milk, really. So yeah, so that was my monthly grocery shopping this month, was just milk. So yeah.
Good. Awesome. And Kim's going to send us all a care package of food because she has enough food to feed a small country. So she's going to feed all of us. So we can all do shelf timber this month on behalf of Kim. Thanks, Kim. Samantha says, beware, some Costco deals are not, or some Costco buys are not a good deal. You're exactly right. We have to be careful of specials and check how much it is per unit, right? The cost per unit when you're buying in bulk. And some of the deals are awesome. Some of them are not at all. So you want to be careful when you see things on special. 1, how much you're saving, and 2, what the cost is per unit. Very good tip. Okay. Yeah, go.
And
Sorry.
don't buy more just because it's on sale.
Exactly. That's right.
I just wanted, if I could, just share another tip. And since we're talking about grocery shopping, there's an app called Flash. I think it's Flash Food. And I know that they have it like in Leamington area and Chatham-Kent area. But what it is, like, especially now with like summer coming and barbecues, What we would normally do, you know, that shelf in your grocery store where like the vegetables can only last for 2 or 3 more days. So they put it for like 30% off or something. Well, now they have that in an app and it'll be a box of fruits and vegetables. So yeah, usually, and you can get like a box for like $4.
Wow.
Yeah, and so what we would do is, yeah, like if we know we're going to barbecue like tomorrow or something like that, we'll get those vegetables and just, you know, cut them up with some, you know, olive oil, salt and pepper. And it's like, you know, you get all these hearty vegetables and then fruit for your lunch and your work day for a fraction of what it would normally cost. So that's just something to look. It's Flash Food, I believe is the app is called. So
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna look into that for everybody too. Okay, Flash Food. That's awesome. Thank you, Jeannie. Okay.
I know on a Sunday night, Sobeys has like steak meat on special, like half price or whatever. We got some really nice steaks on half price at one time, so it's great.
Yeah, Gage got
Sobeys at night. Okay, Sunday night. Awesome. Okay, so now we are all versed on shelf timber, and we're gonna try that and save ourselves $400. All right, reaching out to creditors and your banks. So this one I put a $0 beside because not all of us have debt. However, it does not hurt that if you lost a job or anything like that, or if you're down in hours, or you know your budget has just been affected by COVID in some way, to reach out to the banks and creditors. It doesn't hurt anything to ask. So what you're going to ask about is 3 things. You're going to see if you can reduce your minimum payment. You're going to see if you can extend the terms, which I won't always suggest you do, but at least we can talk about them if they give you an option, or reduce the interest. So I actually had one of my credit cards for COVID reduce the interest to 0% for a year. All I had to do was call and ask. So I now have 0% interest for a year on that card. It's not a balance transfer. It's not anything like that. It's literally just them changing it to 0 for 1 year. So it just, all you have to do is ask them, right? So you want to reach out to the banks and the creditors, see what options are available. If the budget is really tight, then this is a really good option to look at. If the budget's not tight and you can afford the payments, then I would suggest keeping them because you know it always comes back around. However, if you can reduce the interest rate, that wouldn't matter if you can budget or not. If you can get more paid on it with less interest, that's a huge benefit. Any questions on talking to creditors and talking to the banks?
Nope.
No, we're good. And Jessica, you said check out 51. I'm going to mark that down and check that out too. Okay, check out 51. There we go. Okay, and the last one, beware of scams. So they've stopped calling us and telling us they're going to be arresting us for our taxes. Now they've started calling us and telling us that we qualify for CERB when we don't, and are going to give us money. Or on the opposite, that you owe money back for CERB that you've collected, and they need your information so they can take that money from your bank account. So they will always find a way to scam us. I have always said criminals are very intelligent people. If they would just put that intelligence to good use instead of bad, it would make the world a better place. However, they're always going to find a way to scam us. So online sales, you want to be careful of online sales. Check the validity of a website before you buy from it. I know my daughter bought from Blue Notes the other day, and because it didn't say Blue Notes in the whole website, she was afraid to buy. So I said, Google it, check it, make sure before you buy, thinking it's Blue Notes, and really it's a knockoff that you're not going to get what you wanted. So online sales is a huge one. Phone calls, emails, text messages. I'm still getting emails from people who are stuck in Africa and need $52,000 to get home and they don't have any family. So you want to make sure that you're looking into the validity of something. If someone is asking you for money, don't do it, right? Make sure you look into it first, have a phone number to call them back, anything like that, right? CERB scam. So again, you want to make sure that you're not getting scammed into getting a CERB, because you're not actually going to get it, but they're going to get you. Or two, that you don't owe back for CERB, because again, you're not going to get someone phone calling or texting you about that. And the last scam before I go to Samantha's comment is vaccines. Did you know there's a scam now around vaccines? Like, they can think of anything. They're so creative. So please don't be buying scams. Please don't be buying vaccines online. I'm sure Kim would love to tell us that we need to be very safe and very careful when we're getting our vaccines. But we need to make sure we're not buying them online. We're buying them from someone legitimate. Okay, so in total, an average 3-person house has just saved $860 a month. So Instagram stores, that's a big one, Janet, you're correct. And calls for being a loyal Visa or MasterCard, yes, great deal. There's always a cost involved. Absolutely. They're not calling to just to say nice things and do nice things for you if there's nothing for them. I agree, Tony, buying locally and mom and pop stores. Sometimes it costs a little bit more, but you are supporting local. That's a big one for us. We always make sure we support the local stores. My Mother's Day present was actually all local. So it was a special, and I don't know if Ian's on anymore. He might have signed off. Oh, Ian, are you there? I think he's still on. Might not be listening. He got me a bouquet, and I think it was called beef and bouquets. So I got sausages, beef patties, chocolate covered Oreos, a bouquet of flowers. What else did I get? A thank you card, and each item was from very local stores. So it's a great idea. I agree with you, Tony. Yes, Janet, getting veggies at stands. As soon as the stands are out, I love getting veggies from the markets and from the stands. It's a huge thing to buy local, especially right now with the pandemic, with so many stores shutting down because of the pandemic. To support local is huge. So I completely agree with that. When you can support local, buy local. There's a lot of things I've done lately, and it's little things, from people doing little businesses out of their houses and stuff like that to keep going. So I've definitely been supporting that. I would tell you what I would be doing for Father's Day, but Ian's on the call, so I can't. But same thing, Father's Day, right? Support local. So it is super important. Okay. And we try to deal with smaller restaurants. Yes, that's a good one too. When you are eating out, instead of buying from the big chains, buy local, buy from one of the little restaurants. We have the markets every Saturday. Yep. There's a lot of the different communities have markets all the time on the weekend. So that's a great thing. So average household, 3 people, saves $860 1 to 2 months a year by doing these items. And I say that 1 to 2 times a year because you're going to do shelf timber once or twice a year. Every 6 months, every 5 months, you're going to do it for a month. 5 months, do it for a month. Because you're just going to eat up what you've packed away, right? What you've gotten, and see how much you can do without having to go out and buy anything. So $860 per month savings, and without the shelf timber, you're still saving over $400 a month with these tips. So it's super important. They add up. They may be small to start, but they do add up. All right, let's move on from this. Just a couple more things. So everybody knows who I am now, and if you didn't before, you do. So this is just a little list of all the products and services that me and my team are here to help you with. Anything to do with your money, anything to do with your budgeting, your savings, your insurances, anything, your financial planning, I can help you. And I know most of you on the call I've done lots with, so I appreciate everybody. And I wanted to congratulate my team, and we have launched a planner. So I don't know how many of you know of how obsessed I am with my planner, but this, let's see if we can see it, because I can't see. There we go. So Make Today Awesome. This is my planner that I created. That's a sample version. This is my actual version here with all my tabs and everything on it. But I designed a planner that you has your goals in it. So you break down your goals into 6 months and daily and weekly and monthly so that you can be breaking down what you want to be doing and achieving them. And that includes your debt and your savings, right? So you want to break those goals down into smaller goals and get them. Melanie, can we purchase one? Absolutely. So what we launched was a website called MakeTodayAwesomePlanner.com. And there's 2 ways you can purchase it. You can purchase it with just the planner itself. And what it is a printable planner. So if you like binders, then put some holes in the paper and throw it in a binder. If you like I like the coil bound. So I pay $9 at Staples and they bind it for me every 6 months. Super easy, super cheap. The nice thing is it's the last planner you'll ever need because you download it once and you just print it whenever you need it. But it has your budget in it as well. So it's got your goals, your budget, what you're eating, your nutrition, your action steps, your lists for everything, your gratitudes, your schedule. It's got everything in it that you ever need. And it's Make Today Awesome, right? So it's a really fun planner. I've been working on it for 2 years, and I thought that it would be a really neat thing to share with you guys today that I actually launched it, and the website is launched now as well. So MakeTodayAwesomePlanner.com. And thank you to everyone who is here. Thank you everyone for coming. Oh, and I told you there was 2 ways to buy the planner and I only told you about one. So the second way you can buy the planner is with a 1-hour session with me on actually teaching you how to use the planner and going through the planner with you so that you can get the most out of it. So you can get just the planner or you can get the planner and me. So that is all on the website. And thank you everyone for coming. Who has questions or other budget tips for everybody?
What's the website again, please, Rika?
MakeTodayAwesomePlanner.com. Hey, Patricia, I didn't see you sneak on. Nobody has any more questions? There you go, Kim. You get to go to work on time.
Okay,
Thank
I'm
you,
gonna sign
Tony.
off now. Thanks, Risa.
Bye, Kim.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks,
If anyone
Rissa.
has any questions, you're very welcome. I'm going to stay on. So if anybody has any questions or anything, just let me know.
I have a question.
Of course.
How is car insurance paid? Like, my payment goes through on the 5th of the month, and I never know with these kinds of things. Once I set up the pre-approval stuff, am I paying in advance or am I paying retroactively?
So car insurance, 99% of the time, there are exceptions, but 99% of the time you're paying ahead. So if you are paying right now in May, you're paying so that you can drive in June. When you pay in June, you're paying so you can drive in July.
So that far in advance?
Yes, 1 month.
Okay,
and it's not first and last when you pay your insurance.
What do you mean?
You know how everybody talks about first and last month insurance?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind that. I won't confuse you extra.
My question is like, I pay on the 5th of every month. So on the 5th of April, I paid my full insurance for 3 cars.
Yep, so that you could drive in May.
So that covers me from May 5th to June 4th?
Depending on what your car payment, do you know what your renewal date is?
It's October 5th.
So yes, so when you paid on April 5th, you paid so that you could drive from May 5th to June 4th.
Okay, because so I paid on the 5th of April. On the 14th of April, we sold one of those cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally got through to them on the 16th to tell them about it. And on May the 5th, the full amount for 3 cars still went through.
Yes, because they may have potentially not processed it on their payment side. Depending on the company, there's actually a long lag between the processing and the payments. So it may be that now you're owed a 2-month credit for that car. And so that June, your payment's gonna be
But
really small because you're
The
gonna have a
payments are
big
gonna be
credit.
really small, according to the paperwork that I got. The
Yes,
payments are gonna
because
be
of that
really
credit.
small. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, then that makes sense.
That make sense? Good.
Yeah. Because it is substantially lower.
Yes.
Like,
So that's
such
taking the
a
2-month
lot.
credit and dividing it into all the remaining payments.
Right, okay, all right, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Do you know anything about long-term disability?
Yes. What do you want to know?
Is there a standard percentage of money, like once you approve, as to like how much money do you get once you approved? Is it a percentage, a standard percentage? Based
Depending on the
your salary?
policy. Depends
sorry?
on the policy, but depending on what the policy says, it's going to either be 66% of your income or a set dollar
Oh, I
amount,
see.
which is around 66% of your income. But it's usually 66.6% of your income.
Okay, I can do the math on that one. Just want to be prepared. They haven't gotten back to us yet. We just applied, so the budgeting will have to wait till we know that number.
Yes, absolutely. We can sit back down once you get that, Tony.
Yeah, I like that idea of the hour with the calendar, so I'll be exploring that one.
All right, you check that out and let me know.
Okay. I think
Thank
that's
you.
all I can think of. You're welcome. Do
Glad you
think of
guys
any-
came.
Yeah, it was good to see you.
Yes, you too. You get to see
I
my
don't know.
office.
Yeah, I know. And even your office seems to have like a pink hue to it, unless
Yes,
it's just
yes,
my
it does.
phone.
No, it's my office.
I see. I see. Okay, I
Oh,
think that was that.
that's
the other,
it?
the only other thing is, and I don't know if any of your other clients are in the same position, that we cannot do anything about the cord cutting because
Right.
all those things are part and parcel, like the cable with Rogers is just part of the maintenance fee.
Right. Well, that's different. Not everybody has access to all of
So-
them, right?
I don't even know how much how much of the maintenance fee goes to that. I have no
Probably
idea.
100 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for me.
All right. You have a good night. I'm going to take Janet's question now. So,
Okay. Good night.
good night. How can Sid get her car loan changed? Best new loan type of thing. Okay. So, Janet, do you want to take? Are you still there? There you are.
Yeah, we're
So, is it you're looking to change the current loan to something different, or what are you looking to do?
Yeah, she's got a, not like a high interest rate. Her
Listening or-
payment amount's pretty, not terrible, but I think we kind of want to change it up,
Okay.
like a lower interest rate, something that's gonna benefit her in the long run, especially with not having her work.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a huge part of it, right? Okay, so how long has she had the loan for?
Probably 2 years now.
2 years? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go back to the current company you're at and ask them what other options they have. And then we can
Okay.
look at those options and table them and see what works best. Or from there, if they don't have a good option, then we go to the different lending companies to see what they're going to be able to offer her with her current situation. But the
Okay.
first thing you do is go back to the current company and say, here's the situation. And you fluff it up as much as you can, make it look, tell all the positives. Don't just, a lot of people, what we do is when we go somewhere is like, this is horrible and this is horrible and this has gone wrong and this has gone bad. We want to say like, I've done good. I have had the loan for 2 years. I've paid it every month. Like you want all those positives that are there.
Yeah.
You want to tell them that and ask, what are my options? What can I do with this loan? And see what options they give you. And then let's see how good or bad it is depending on the situation and then go from there.
Okay.
So I would call them
That's-
first.
And another quick question too. So you know how like you have different benefits? So she's on a bunch of different ones. Is there a
Yep.
way to get those lowered or whatnot?
Like the like benefits as in which?
Critical illness, those type
Like
of
your
things.
insurance policies?
Yes.
Depending on what policies you have and depending on what policies you need, there's sometimes we can switch the type of policy to reduce it a little bit, but that would be
Okay.
the only option. So what you can do is send me an email, and what we'll do is we'll jump on a call just like this with just the three of us, and we'll go over
Okay.
her plans and see what options are better for her based on her current situation.
Okay, that would be great.
Okay, so
That
send
would
me an
be-
email and I'll do that because I won't remember.
Okay.
We all know
Yeah, we'll
that.
definitely do that.
Okay, send me an email.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Tony, if you get Canadian retirement, is that taxed? You mean CPP and old age security?
I think that's you. Is there another Tony?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
That's Tony.
sorry.
He said yes in the chat. It's okay. So yes, the CPP and old age security are taxed. Old age security, I'm not going to say for sure, but CPP is definitely taxed, and they don't tax it until it's like EI, right? So when you get the money, you get the full amount pre-tax, and then when you file your taxes, you have to pay tax on all that money. You can get them to withhold tax so that they take less or all off, so that way when you do your taxes at tax time, you don't have to pay. But that would be between you and your financial advisor, who I know who that is, and the government. But yes, when it comes to that, we can figure it out.
How's it?
Anybody else have any questions? No? Silence?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You're good? Okay, I'm gonna sign off, everybody. Oh, do you have, here, Manuela, mute yourself so then Tony can talk.
Okay, let me see how I do that.
Right.
There we go.
No, I was just gonna say that I've heard a lot of great things here and made me
Thank
think
you.
about changing some things in our budget that we hadn't thought
Very
of.
good.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Always a treat to see you.
Well, and I'm waiting to see pictures of you with Noah. When are you gonna send them?
I will be sending them tonight.
Okay, I'll be waiting. I got one of Manuela, but I didn't get one of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I
Send
better
them.
see them.
Check the mail.
All right, everybody have a good night. I'm gonna sign off and stop the meeting. Have a
Okay,
great night.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.